is Pastor Eric.
Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Anybody holding the night? Anybody
you gonna do, make sure you hold to his hand. Whatever you do tonight, don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give in. God got a blessing with your name on it. You better hold to his hand. Anybody gonna hold? Anybody gonna hold? Anybody gonna hold on? I dare you to look at somebody and tell them I got a real good grip. I got a real good grip. And I refuse to let go. I refuse to let go. You ought to hold to his hand. You ought to hold to his hand. Never will he leave you. Never will he forsake you. Anybody gonna hold on? Anybody gonna hold on? I got a made up mind. I got a made up mind. I got to keep on holding. I got to keep on holding. I got to keep on holding. Anybody gonna keep on holding? Anybody gonna keep holding? Anybody gonna keep on holding? Let me tell you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Christians and friends. We thank and praise God for this another glorious privilege to come into your homes while you're riding along your automobiles, your various places of business, every hospital ward, even the boys and girls behind prison walls. I think so. To bring you Ramon Perry live, according to your faith, emanating through the studios of W.
Yes, sir. I didn't have that kind of,
We are winning. We trust and pray that this time with Jesus would give you strength.
Yes.
To deal with this icy cold weather and go forward.
Forward.
Come on.
Not backwards, but what?
Forward.
So you gotta put some salt down. Slide backwards.
We don't want to slide in there.
You want to slide?
We want to walk.
We want to walk in there.
Walk it on out.
I can't do no with these people here. How are you all doing today?
Bless. God is
Dr.
great.
Newman.
God is good. We're expecting a healthy baby girl any minute, so we're we're really excited. Yeah,
go on through here.
Yeah,
adding to the kingdom.
Adding to the kingdom.
Well, congratulations for new life.
I need to crochet you a blanket.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Come on, I'm gonna work on it tonight.
Right.
And there's a question that we ask every week.
Whole question.
Are you all ready for this question?
I think we're ready for it.
Is there? Come on, let's say it together. A doctor.
Well, you done heard from mom, but there's another. Yes, there is a doctor in the house. I am she is me, and me is her. Me, she, her is in the building. Dr. B is here. Hey, Evangelist, what's going on?
That is me.
Hey, everyone. Doctor in the midst.
Let me tell you, I'm a doctor in the midst.
Yes.
That's right.
They
coming.
They're trying to put this doctor
Yes, we
on
are.
me.
Oh, we gonna get to you. Yeah. We claim that for you.
See?
3 doctors and Ramon Perry.
No, he gonna have to come
Ramon
on
Perry
up.
and the 3 doctors.
He gonna have to come on up too, you know.
I'm
We
good.
We can share. I got 2, so
Yeah, we can share one with
You see what they doing here?
doctor in the master.
Yeah,
So he can come out.
They're trying to listen. Let's put a couple of acknowledgments out there. Creola Jones, First Lady Creola Jones of
Yes.
Mount Carmel Baptist Church. You
Yes.
can find me there on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock.
What you say?
Reverend Robert Jones will be preaching the unadulterated word of God, 29th and Wabash. It's the biggest church right over there. You come on over there. We're going to have a good time. I see our friend and brother, our family, Reverend Gerald Miller. I said he's Elder Gerald Miller. Laveda Jackson is in the building.
Yes.
First Lady Latrice Dixon.
Yeah.
It's not even Tuesday, and we're still shining from Tuesday night.
Yes.
God bless you, Latrice. We thank God and pray God's blessings on you. Renee Gillison, Mount Carmel, my friend and brother Danny Mills, all the way from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
God bless you, Danny. Send some warm weather here. It did kind of winter showed up, but I'm good. Denny Yancey, she's part of our crew.
Denny.
And we see Violetta Cuffie is in
my mommy. We love Mama Cuffie.
We love on our own people.
Yeah.
That's just the way we do it. James Williams
Is
is
here.
in the building. We'll be talking about something that James does. Reverend Pastor Charlie Mabry, he's part of our family.
Pastor
He's in the building.
Bless you, sir.
My cousin Letitia Pointer, God bless
Hey,
you.
Letitia.
You are Reverend Franklin Morris.
Yeah.
And that's responsible
sir.
for us sitting behind the sacred desk on tonight. God bless you. He's celebrating tonight with his grandson a birthday. Olivia Young, Courtney Jakes is in.
Hey,
She's so
Courtney.
faithful.
Hey.
Listen, so glad to have so many of you. Listen, I want to get a couple of announcements out the way, and then I'm getting ready to bring our first guest. You already know, y'all done seen that flyer out there. You know what? Holy Ghost power is already in the building. But I'm not gonna fool with y'all because you know what? I'm black and I matter. Y'all don't get it.
They
Y'all
missing
don't
all
get
of
it.
that.
Y'all don't
Come
get
on,
it.
set it up.
Just went right over here. Just went right over
Y'all
here.
went right, yeah, though. I'm telling you, it's about to be on and popping. Just a couple of announcements we want to make. Let me get my announcement up. Okay, this week, we talked about it last week. This coming Saturday, we're going to be celebrating with Reverend Kenny Gunn, his 82nd birthday. This is going to take place. A second generation choir celebrates their founder, Reverend Kenneth H. Gunn, 82nd birthday, Saturday, February 15th. Bread of Life, Missionary Baptist Church, 1924 West 63rd Street in Chicago. Dr. David L. Sutton is the pastor. Second generation will be singing as never before, along with the special guest. I just got a text from the man himself, Elder DeAndre. You heard of him?
Yeah. Been around him for almost over 25 years.
Oh my.
That choir.
Really?
Yeah. Here you are.
Let me tell you.
21 years old.
I don't know. You know, we're aging backwards, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is possible.
Destiny Worship and Praise Chorale will be there.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm going to be there. So this is another announcement we want to make. I'm going to be here on Sunday afternoon. Our friend and brother, Pastor Reverend Dr. Benjamin E. Davis, will celebrate his pastoral anniversary. Years of God's Grace. This is going to take place Sunday at 11 a.m. I'll be there at the 3 p.m. service. This will be February 16th and 23rd. St. John Baptist Temple, 9319 South Cottage Grove Avenue. You don't want to miss it. Listen, I can't wait any longer. We've got some people in the building. I need everybody that's on YouTube and Facebook to hit like and share. Like and share right now. I need all, if it's 20 people, I want 20 likes. If it's 100 people, I want 100 likes. Whether you are on the YouTube platform or Facebook, hit like right now and hit share. Help push us out. Bird Brown, God bless you.
Hey, Bird.
Hey, Bird.
We're thanking God that her mom is home from the hospital doing great. And we want to thank Walter Howard, Deacon Mark. He's old faithful in the building. Kim Beasley is here. God bless you, Kim. Dr. Monica Monique. Kim, thank you. We're going to be doing some work together in just a little bit. Listen. This lady right here. Wait a minute. Did y'all hit like yet? That's what I'm talking about.
I'm waiting to see some hearts.
We got 108 shares as of right now.
There you
go.
Wow.
Keep it going.
Yes. I ain't got time to play with y'all.
I know that's right.
Listen, she deserves no introduction. She is part of Chicago gospel.
Yes.
She is part of U.S. gospel. She has traveled across the length and breadth of this country and out of the country. She is the songbird of gospel music. I'm telling you, it don't get no better.
No better.
Lemmie Battles. How you doing,
The
Lemmie?
songbird.
Listen, I'm sitting here looking at y'all. You all enjoying yourself, so y'all thrive in me, okay?
Oh.
Y'all get me.
Lemmie, I love you.
I love you too. Hello, everybody. It's so good to be on with you all on tonight.
Here today. I told Lemmie, we talked briefly the other day. I said she's on the STW list. Y'all know what that means?
What?
Y'all on that list too. That's called Stop the World. Now, y'all, when I see her name, I answered if I got one eye open, it's Lemmie. Lemmie. And there's a story behind that. I've been listening to her minister for many, many years, even far, far back before I met her personally. But Lemmie was really instrumental in getting us involved in the Stellars. And I tell you, you never forget the bridges.
You never forget.
You don't forget the people that helped you when wasn't nobody looking your way. Okay?
Never forget.
Lemmie was very instrumental. How you doing today, Lemmie?
I'm doing really well, to be honest. I couldn't ask for anything more. So I'm just thanking the Lord for every every minute and every hour, every moment to, to do and continue to do what I know God called me to do. So I thank you all for allowing me to come on and just share what He's done for me.
Absolutely. One of our family members, Elder Gerald Miller, said you're going to be at the Valley Sunday.
Well, actually, I was at the Valley this past Sunday.
It was his past. Okay,
Yeah,
you missed out. Elder
Yeah.
Miller. She was there last Sunday.
Yeah, he missed out. If
Now
he wasn't there, he missed a treat. He missed
he
a
missed.
treat. I tell you, Pastor Ray Beatty and his congregation and staff, they they just blew me away. It was just fantastic to be honored on Black History Month as a legendary in the gospel. And certainly I am a gospel singer, been for many, many years, over 60 years, and I'm excited that somebody thought enough to recognize this little old girl. And I'm just grateful. I don't take nothing lightly for what God is doing in my life and how people see you. People ask you how you get this, how you get this. The Bible says, let your light shine before men, that He may see your good works. And somebody have seen my good works and they wanted to honor me. And so thanks to Valley Kingdom for doing that on Sunday. And it was off the chain.
I'm sure it was. We honor you here. We salute you on Black History Month.
Thank you.
You are literally an icon, and many stand on your shoulders right now. Those that are out there in the gospel industry, they've watched you, we've watched you, and you're no stranger here. Listen, I've been through some things. Anybody ever been through anything?
Been through.
Yes. Turn to your neighbor and say, I survived it.
I survived it. Let me tell you. Surviving.
Yes.
Lemmie, why did I ask that? Why did I ask that question?
My God. Let me tell
you asked that question because you know my history. You know what I've gone through and how the Lord brought me out to become what I am, a survivor, And the song itself is gonna bless the nation. Because what we are going through now, I want to tell you already, you're gonna survive it. But you got to go through a little something to get to something. Come on, somebody. And so just get ready for what God is getting ready to do. The song was written by my cousin Tim White, produced by Richard Gibb, and I tell you, it is fire. It is fire. Oh, thank you for that picture. I made my outfit as you. Y'all know I sold.
I will go ask. I know.
I wouldn't have had it no other way, but we all are survivors, the early part of the year, the Lord gave me this slogan that said, we will thrive and survive in 2025. And so, listen, we got to keep pressing our way on to continue that. And we're going to finish. We may fall along the way, but we're going to get up and survive whatever we're going through. Glory to God.
Well, Lemmie, if I can just infringe on you just a little bit, it's not too many places I don't go that you don't talk about this number 3.
Yeah, that number 3, honey. Let me tell you one thing. Well, the Lord healed me, and that's my testimony in the ministry. I can't do it no other way than to share what I've been through. Yes, I'm a 3-time cancer survivor. I'm a 2-time throat cancer survivor, cervical cancer survivor, and God is continuing to do it over and over again. And even with this song, I went through a challenge because it should have been out, I thought. But how many know your time ain't God's timing? Glory to God.
Right.
God's timing is all timing. Come on, somebody. And so I've been in. Nobody knew. I battled this thing with some people that I called to help me get through it. They had to go in my throat several times to pull out fluid. I went in the studio and I just couldn't do the song, and I got upset and all that kind of stuff. But my spiritual godson, Richard Gibb, walked me through this thing. I cried a little bit, and I said, "Now wait a minute." I said, "God, you the same God yesterday, today, forevermore. If you did it before, and I know you did, you can do it again." And the Lord assured me this last time that I went in, September the 7th of last year, for this last treatment. He assured me God had healed me of cancer, that it was not cancer. And I got the report to say that it was not cancer. 2 weeks ago, I had to go back for another procedure, and it came out negative as well. So I survived it. And I don't know who's going through something right now, but if you just hang on in there, Watch God do it. He may not come when you want him to.
Right.
Okay, I feel my help, y'all. But he's always on time.
Let me do this for us. I want you to introduce the song, who wrote it, and who's singing it, and we're going to present it for the first time here, Ramon Perry Live, WVTC. Go ahead.
Listen. All of you all out there that are listening to this here, Facebook Live, whatever you might call it. The girl is back. Her name is Lemmie Battle. She's coming back with a song that's going to bless you, written by the one and only, that preaching machine. Y'all heard me when I said preaching machine. Minister Tim White, produced by my godson, Richard Gibb. Title, I Survived It. How many survivors I got out there? Where are you looking at, one? Hey! No. Listen, I've been through many tests and trials, and I felt like giving up. Satan tried to kill me, but Jesus said that's enough. I survived it. Oh, yes, I did. I got something to tell you, y'all. I got a testimony. I got a story to tell. God healed my body so many times. Now I'm doing well. I survived it. Oh, yes, I did. Hey. Oh. Yes, I did. I can walk on the devil's head. I thank the Lord. He gets the glory. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, I did. I survived it. Every little bitty thing, God did it for me. He'll do it for you. Just try him. Yes, I did. 'Cause can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody love me like the Lord. God's been real good to me. When I was sick, he came to see about me. I survived it. Everything that I went through, y'all. Survived everything. Sickness, pain, I survived. Yes, I did. The doctor said I wasn't gonna live, gonna sing a death, but I survived it. Yes, I did. 'Cause when you look at me, you look a little bit recovered. 'Cause I called on Jesus and he healed me. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave. God made on death. Get back and behave. What the devil meant for evil, God turned it around for my good.
I survived it.
And that makes you want to pick it up and keep going, don't it, Evangelist?
Lord have
Yes,
mercy.
yes.
Listen. Did y'all hear that second hook? That's Sunday morning music, Lemmie.
Foot stomping, toe tapping,
Oh, yeah.
hand clapping. Yes.
Now, you know, it ain't real Lemmie unless she said, Nobody can do that like a Lemmie back. And it's anointed every
Yeah.
Ramon, this preacher told me this preacher told me, and Gary, he says, Lemmie, you know you can sing, but I never heard nobody sing and gargle at the same time. I just like to run.
It's a holy
Well, y'all know, y'all
only.
know I'm a Southern girl. You know, I'm from Arkansas. You know, the deacons and the preachers, you know, when they preach and stuff, they grab that in, they gone on. I guess, hey, it's in the blood, you know. So I just thank the Lord that I can let the devil know you didn't win, you know. So I let him know, you know.
Well, Alice Williams said, I love it. Jerry Weaver,
Thank
he said, I
you.
survived it. I liked it. If you enjoyed this, James Williams said, I survived. If you survived it, type in the comments, I survived it.
I survived it. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Type in the
Yeah,
comments.
speak
right
it. Speak
now,
it.
I survived it. We're gonna wait on you. I want to see who's gonna do it tonight.
Absolutely.
I
Yes,
want to see
God.
who's gonna put it in there. Barbara Bacon, put in there, I survived it. Walter Howard, Evangelist Ann Branch, I survived it.
Yes.
Everybody put that in the comments.
Yes.
Now, tell us how we can secure this and win.
Well, first of all, thank God for those that are typing it in, because I'm telling you, it's going to resonate, okay, with what we're going through right now. Think about it. You're going to survive this. So let me just tell you how you can get it. My God, my God. On tomorrow, you can start a pre-order on tomorrow, February the 14th, love day, February the 14th. But on next Friday, which is February the 21st, you can download. And let me just tell you all this. I got over almost 700 comments when I first let you guys know that I was coming out. I need those same 700 plus to
Very good.
download this music for next Friday night. I know I can get almost 1,000 sales, because if you look, put your money where your mouth is. Come on, somebody. Love is action, and I need your support. I need your love. I need your support to help me push this song to the next level in ministry. I know you can. I just believe you will.
Wow. Listen, what we're going to do, Lemmie, when it comes out, it's going to come out next week. But the week after that, we're coming on with it.
That's
All
it.
right.
Coming
All right.
on with it. I
Yes.
survived it. That's going to be our opening song until
Yes.
the end of the month. I survived it.
Amen. Amen.
I'm telling you, and we're surviving it. And you know what? And I'm not going all the way over there, but our ancestors dealt with far worse.
My.
Listen, I said that today on the Duchess Live today. When you talk about Black history, I can tell you about Black history. My grandmother was sold in slavery. They took her from her family in slavery, and she was sold to the white man. She was a good worker and all of that, but they kept her a long time. And when they released her, she had 5 brothers and sisters. She found her siblings and brought them to her one and only daughter, which was my mother. Come on, somebody. And introduced her family to to my mother's children. My mother had 13 kids. 12 of them was living. 12 kids. And my daddy was brutalized in slavery with the white man. He died with a bullet in his back. Come on, somebody. His mother, which was my grandmother, was sold over into slavery, raped and brutalized. She had a son, a white son. I have white uncles, I have that. But don't you see, slavery is nothing new to me, because my grandparents and my mom they brought us up to date. So it's real, y'all. It is real. Slavery is real. That's why I'm Black, you Black, but you matter. But you know what? Martin Luther King, he did it for us. And we got to keep going to let people know it's a reality. It is what it is. So I know about the history. My daddy suffered in it. My grandmother suffered in it. And it is what it is. But I know Black history. I can tell you more. But I'm getting over it now, because, I was able to see my grandmother. My daddy lived to see 71, but he told us everything he went through. Yes, he did.
Wow. That's the
That's
other
history.
testimony,
That's
right?
that other testimony.
That is
And
real.
Yeah.
family survived it. And I'm gonna tell you, the last time Lemmie had something that she brought her family, she come from a
I
family.
did. On my
Sure
70th birthday. My 70th birthday.
And I was there, and they were all here. They
Yes.
survived.
They survived.
Yeah.
And they're
Yes.
doing well down there. Where they're what is it, Arkansas or
Arkansas. Yeah, they're in Arkansas.
I remember Lemmie. Well, Lemmie, thank you so much for sharing with us today. You are literally a blessing to the kingdom, and we are praying God's blessing on your life and on this new single, that it will go the highest mountain and the lowest valley. And
Amen.
Somebody.
But you know what, Ramon and your staff, Pastor Eric Thomas preached Sunday. The thing still originating in me, and he preached on just relax in everything what's going around, and just relax. That God got our back. My pastor preached on your life is continuing. It's a continuing in everything we do. So we can't give up, y'all. You gotta thrive to survive in 2025.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Lemmie. You'll be
So many accolades in
God
the
bless
comments.
you, Lemmie.
I love you
loving
guys.
you in the comments, okay?
Yes.
God bless you, Lemmie. You'll be back again, right?
Yes, I will. I'm headed to Denver, Colorado this weekend. The following weekend, I'll be in Georgia. And the following weekend, I'll be in Vegas for 6 days. So y'all pray for my strength, okay? But I'm
Man.
loving what I do, and I just thank God for it.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Lemmie. Let's make sure we
Yes.
support our sister.
I
She's
love
our-
her.
she's
Love
our
her.
Chicago by way of Arkansas, Lemmie Battles. It just really doesn't get any better than that. I'm looking forward to her new single coming out, and Richard Gibbs worked on it. We spoke with him briefly today, and I think Reverend Tim Wright co-wrote it and everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be another one of Chicago's hits. Listen, I see
You're getting some recognition out in the comments. Somebody says, "Love the hat, Ramon."
Oh, they like the hat.
They like the hat.
Come on.
Come
Little
on.
dapper.
Little dapper.
Who said that? No,
Miss Alice Williams. Thank you.
God bless you, Alice.
You do look nice in your hat, though.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I survived it.
You survived. That's it. Survived.
Listen, just wanted to
Where your hat?
throw
You need a hat.
I need a hat.
You need a hat.
Mr. Bougie, need a hat.
I need a hat.
I can't do nothing with these two. It's always two. I might have to separate these two.
I just say that.
You said it. She said
They
we
won't-
cannot sit together
right.
at a funeral.
They won't act right. ACK right.
Act right.
Listen,
The two doctors.
listen. We want to throw a shout out birthday to our good friend and brother, Reverend Eric Thomas.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thomas and those from Greater Harvest may see this, tell them we send them out a great shout.
Amen.
Listen, we want to go ahead and with our sponsor today, you all get ready for this. If you have any plumbing needs, this is what you need to do. Modern Plumbing and Sewer Company for all of your home and business needs. New construction, remodeling, commercial, residential, free and no obligation estimates. Established since 1970 by proprietor and CEO James E. Williams. Licensed and bonded. Contact them today for your plumbing needs at 773-925-7504. 773-925-7504. They accept Cash App and Zelle. Now, if your plumbing needs, you need to contact Modern Plumbing. We don't make sure you leave a little trickle of water during these next week or so because it's going to be in the single digits in the teens. And we want to make sure that you don't have to call them unnecessarily. However, if you do, you want to make sure that you contact them for your plumbing needs. Our guest, she says she's having a little difficulty getting in here, but we're gonna trust God and never doubt He will surely bring us out.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we're gonna go to a little song. I want y'all to listen to this song. This is a blessing. This is one of our own. New Pisgah, our brother Rico Nichols wrote this. It's called Take the Burden to the Lord. Meet us on the other side. Like and share. Like and share. We're coming through here. God bless you.
Take
you take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there tonight.
My God.
Take your problems to the Lord and leave them there. Listen, we
Gotta
are
leave
back
them.
here. Our guest is having a few technical difficulties getting into the virtual room, but we're going to see what the Lord say.
Mhm.
We're gonna go on and we're going to see if what we've done will help her get in. Listen, anything special happened to anybody this week? Anybody have any praise reports for somebody?
I got a praise report.
Okay, let's go with it. Let's go
And
with
mine happened today.
it. Let's go with it.
So for those of you out there who knows Dr. B has had some health challenges, but I'm telling you right now, this day, today, I was released to have my surgery on the 28th of February. To God be the glory. This sickness is gone. It's going to be out of here. And the main thing is the way I got approved was sometimes you don't have to put the medications in your body all the time that they give you. That stuff it's got my hair coming out, my teeth falling out, and all kind of stuff is going on. But listen, let me tell you, I took my burdens to the Lord and I left them there.
That's it.
And I'm going to survive Mama Lemmie battles. I'm going to survive. So thank God for Jesus.
Listen. We're thanking God for that testimony because last week she wasn't able to be with us.
I was in the hospital.
She was in the hospital. If you want to share it.
Yeah.
She's with us
Almost every
tonight.
weekend I'm there.
We're glad to have you back tonight.
I'm here.
My God.
With my loved ones.
I see our brother Gerald Montgomery out
He
there.
is in the building.
Gerald, I have to catch that replay because when you on, I'll be on that last turn. early in the morning, I'll be on that last turn. You know,
Oh my.
It'd be a struggle sometimes. It'd be a struggle sometimes.
Do you all ever do the negotiations? Okay, when the hand get on one, I'm gonna get up.
It don't work for me.
And then one come up. Okay, two.
Yeah,
Exactly.
7:32.
Yes.
Okay, 7:33. Oh God, I gotta get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only one to be struggling in the morning.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
Mhm.
It's a struggle.
Sometimes.
Yes, it is.
It seems like it's worse in the winter time.
Oh yes.
It
Oh
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
you
we
know,
It is.
Y'all ever?
cozy.
Did anybody out there, Deacon Branch? Do you ever had that one spot where you just like I can't move from this?
And
spot.
it's the spot.
It's
That's
that
right.
spot. It's warm.
And if you move, you're gonna lose it.
Come on. You gotta get up.
And then you gotta get up. You just have
You
to.
gotta get up.
I'm trying to tell you, I think our guest is getting ready to come on in here. I want to have a little fun with you. How many know the joy of the Lord?
Come on. It's our
It's just
strength.
We have so much going on in the world today.
My
You
goodness.
don't even want to turn on the paper, on the news, and I've got a couple of
Thank you, everybody.
apps on my phone. God, they send you some love.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Pastor Brad Frazier, God bless you. Doris Taylor, Mount Carmel in the building. Yeah, so much going on. I mean, my phone, you have to turn off these apps because it'll tell you if the squirrel fell from the tree around the corner, it's gonna give you a notification.
You
I
gonna
don't
know
need
it,
to
You know,
everything that happened, every carjacking, everything. The president
Everything.
did this person did that. Sometimes it's have you ever had a Calgon moment?
oh yes,
Take
me away.
It's like give me a break. Listen, I think she's here.
I
Listen,
think so.
this is somebody that we're getting ready to bring on the screen right here. Everybody needs to share this because she is a civil rights warrior.
Yeah.
She is
I love her.
part of Rainbow Push. She's a pastor,
Yes.
she's a mother, she's a leader. She is somebody great. I've been seeing her from afar. We've never met personally, and that's okay. We're gonna meet tonight. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the stage Reverend Dr. Janette Wilson. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm
Wonderful.
blessed. I'm blessed. I'm so glad to have you. Is that your husband there?
Yep.
I thought so. How you doing?
I'm well. And yourself?
I'm good. You can't get one without the other.
You
one.
gotta have them
Listen,
both. Come
gotta-
on. That's a package deal.
That's a package deal.
One play.
That's a package deal, honey.
Dr. Wilson, welcome to WVTC for the first time with Ramon Perry Live. We are so honored to have you.
Amen.
I wanted to just share a little before you came on. I had just a little something that you might want to see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Do you have a moment?
Yes. We have a
Got a
moment.
moment? Okay, let's see what the Lord say.
What does the Lord say?
Keep on. Never say die. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on.
have to reimagine what a presidential library means to the city of Chicago. I'm a resident of the city of Chicago, happen to live on the South Side. This is not about trees and grass. It is really about a future for a generation yet unborn. Remind them of what it means to be African American, snatched from the shores of Africa, transported here, chained to unknown people from different parts of the continent. Remind them, as you remember, retell the story of the deliverance from Jim Crow to where we are. And then don't just report on then. Tell them where we are now. Tell them the unfinished agenda of Dr. King.
History tells us that, one, we have to resist oppression. You have to recognize it, then you have to resist it, and then you have to do something about it. You can't just adjust to slavery, you know. And so I think that as we look at our history, we have to look at those role models. What did they do? They spoke out against it. They wrote about it, and then they acted against it. Children in Birmingham, the Children's March, it wasn't grown people, it was children that faced those dogs in Birmingham for rights. And so we have to teach our children, you don't adjust to racism. You don't adjust to negativity, treating you like you're less than.
Dr. Wilson, how you doing?
Yes, I'm good. How you get all that stuff on me?
Oh man, I went digging. I said I want to be prepared because we have somebody that's coming in, and when Reverend Jackson says turn, you say I am somebody, you are somebody, and we wanted to make you feel welcome your first time here. And I understand you're going to be part of the WVTC family. I don't know if I let the cat out the bag, but
I knew it.
But can you just share with us a little bit about you, where you're from, and how you began this journey with ministry and being a civil rights advocate? It's all on you.
Well, I think I was born in a struggle. I was born in Ripley, Tennessee, on my great aunt's farm, because in order for my mother to give birth to me in the hospital, she would have had to be in the basement of the hospital. So I was born in my aunt's 4-poster bed. And I grew up in racism and segregation. So I understand the journey of our people directly, specifically. I rode I didn't get to ride on the back of the bus because my grandmother snatched me off when we got on the bus, and the bus driver called her auntie, so we were off the bus before I could get my little seat. So I have been in the South where you had direct racism, and grew up in the North where it was more subtle. We lived in segregated communities, so I don't know a time when I wasn't imbued with the idea of we must fight. There's a struggle that we have to engage in the struggle for our dignity and for our rights. And I didn't ask for this. I think I was just positioned by God for this moment. I didn't want to be a preacher because women are not respected in ministry, especially at the time I started and before me. So it was hard enough to be a lawyer, but to be a preacher, female preacher, Black female preacher, was a struggle. There are pulpits even today that I cannot speak in, merely because I'm a woman, but they will let me come to the church as a lawyer. So it's just all kind of foolishness.
Wow. I can attest to that because long before I met you, I know one pulpit that you were definitely welcomed in without fail, and that was under the late, great Reverend Clay Evans. He had no issue with women in ministry. And I've seen you and Reverend York in that pulpit more times than I care to remember.
Well, but I was ordained by him 40 years after he ordained Mother York to the day. And he was put out. He was really almost put out of the National Baptist because he ordained a woman, and that was Mother Consuelo York. And then 40 years later, he ordained me, and I could not have a local ordination ceremony. We had to bring preachers from around the country to ordain me. That's how, and that's in 97. So, you know, things have changed, but you had to really know that you are called and not fight for the pulpit. Because like I told one guy, he had asked me to come and speak. And then when I got to the church, he said, I hear you're a preacher. I said, yes, sir. Well, I never had a woman in my pulpit. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? And then he said, well, I don't know. Maybe if you stand down here and preach on the floor. I said, wherever you want me, I'll be right there. And that's, I mean, it's just ignorant, but God has kept me.
Wow, that's so many stand on your shoulders, whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a struggle and a fight all within itself. Now, how did you get involved in? I've got some questions that some people sent me. We'll see if we can get to some of them. But how did you begin your journey as a civil rights advocate?
Well, I joined Breadbasket, and like my husband who's with me, I was a part of Breadbasket on a Saturday. My father would take me to the Operation Breadbasket meetings. And I was just very excited. So I would go back to the church and tell my pastor that we had to picket these stores. And he didn't tell us not to, but he was very dismissive of the whole idea. And I was just so frustrated. I'm like, we have to go. And the whole church, I thought the whole church should be on the picket line. Well, they didn't go, but I was just excited about fighting for the right to have good meat in our stores. Because at that time, they would take the meat from the suburban stores that had almost spoiled and ship them to the same store, Red Rooster and what was the other one? All I can remember is Red Rooster. They would sell bad meat in the black community because the food would come from the suburbs to the city to our stores after it had almost expired. The same thing with fruits and vegetables. So we just shut them down. And National Tea, National Foods. That's why you don't see a Red Rooster in America today, because we boycotted them. So I grew up as a teenager. I was fascinated with Dr. King and, you know, just hearing him, but just being a part of that movement. I want to do that, what he did. Speak truth to power and not back down.
And then we volunteered at Operation Push as soon as Janette passed the bar.
Yeah, we did free legal clinics and ended up becoming local counsel for Operation Push. And then Reverend Jackson, he would have, because lawyers write, we were taking notes and writing, and we had legal clinics at Push, and so it just evolved. And then I became over the Trade Bureau. Then I became over Rainbow Operation Push itself. When Reverend Jackson was running for president, I became the executive director of Operation Push.
Can I ask you something? He just mentioned past the bar. What bar?
Yes, sir.
He mentioned you passed the bar.
Yeah, I did. Not
What
the bar
bar?
on the street. I know where you're going. Not that bar. I passed the bar to be licensed as a lawyer.
To be licensed as what?
A lawyer.
She is a lawyer.
Wow.
That is exactly where I was trying to get. That is, so how does that all link up? You're in ministry and you're a lawyer. You're part of the civil rights movement. Those things have to converge. Tell us how that works, because I know that there's some people that have been blessed by your background in law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, you have to argue a case and you present the facts to a jury if you're a trial lawyer. And so in civil rights, most people don't know what they need to fight for. They don't even know what their rights are. And so you have to present the facts to the community. Like right now, people are wondering, what should I do? This is a crisis. America's in a state of emergency. So you first have to lay out the factual basis for any action, as a lawyer does when they do an opening statement. They tell you, this is what you're going to hear from the witnesses. And then you call your witnesses. You got to make sure that your witnesses say what you just told the jury they were going to say. Similarly, in civil rights, you have a process for direct action. You don't just get up and start marching because you're mad. And you have to research, and you have to then share that information, communicate. Why should you be upset? And if you're upset, what should you do? And then you tell people, this is an action we can take. For example, years ago, we worked with pushing developing the moral covenants, which are not contracts. They're moral agreements between corporate America and the people that buy their products. If I'm 10% of your marginal profit, I expect you to give me back 10% of jobs, contracts, and opportunities. And if you fail to do that, then I don't need to eat your product. I don't need to buy your product. So I withdraw my enthusiasm for your product.
Civil rights. That has been rolled back. Give us some direction on what we as a community and a people and all that will be affected by that. Can you shed some light on that, if you would, please?
Okay. What is civil rights? It started out, we didn't even have the right to marry. We didn't have the right to vote. We did not have the right to public accommodations. We could not ride. We couldn't go to the show through the front door. We could not go into restaurants if you were Black. We did not have basic rights. We didn't have the right to assemble.
We didn't have citizenship. We weren't even recognized as being citizens of the United States until the end of the Civil War, when they passed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments.
So you start out with no rights that white people had to respect. We filed lawsuits. We changed legislation. I mean, Black people demonstrated just for basic human rights. And even as today, when you look at it, we don't get the same opportunities that you get if you have white privilege. You don't have the same access to education. Our schools are under-resourced, underfunded, based on economic status alone. And so when people say back in the day, no, this is the day right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make most people are not making a fair wage, nor do they have benefits. People that work at Walmart, Target, and some of these stores, they work every day, but they don't let them get enough hours to be considered full-time and to get health care. A lot of people working 2 and 3 jobs so that they can make ends meet, but they still don't have health care. They don't have vacation. They have no sick days. They can't afford to be sick. And so when people say, back in the day of civil rights, you better realize today is that day. HBCUs are underfunded right now. We have 15 historic Black colleges. That's the HBCU, Black colleges and universities. They were called land-grant colleges. And now they're funded by state legislatures have finally, after slavery, after Reconstruction, decided, after the Civil War, you had all these schools, Florida A&M,
Howard University,
Tennessee State University, Alabama A&M, Alcorn State University,
Jackson State.
All of these schools were not getting the same funds that other state schools were getting. And these were what you call land-grant colleges. Finally, they get the money, and then the states now decide, we're going to make these schools open to everybody. So now the minority population in the HBCU is a white student. and the state legislatures are taking control of the boards of directors, board of trustees of these colleges, and determining how much money they will get. And I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. So,
wow. Before I go any further, because it's another term I want to mention to you, and I know you can expand on that. I want to acknowledge the presence of my pastor, Robert C. Jones, Reverend Dr. Robert C. Jones of Mount Carmel Baptist Church. We acknowledged him earlier, and someone you know very well, and I know very well, my godson, Minister Dennis Gary, who really helped us pull all this together. You know, Dennis.
I don't want to meet him.
We know Dennis. We know Dennis well.
Dennis is
a wonderful person, Reverend Dennis Gary.
He's here. Sally Cole Butler, God bless you. Listen, affirmative action. What does that mean? And what is that? That's something else that has been rolled back. Let's talk about that.
Go ahead, Mr. Howard. This is piece of his story.
Actually, affirmative action is really a misnomer. It's what we're talking about is a redress of a historical wrong. And so after you've been discriminated for decades and they finally get to the point that they're going to address that discrimination, they say to address it is affirmative action. They're going to take something positive towards eliminating the discrimination. As soon as affirmative action was put into the vernacular that everybody could talk about it, then white folks they file lawsuits talking about reverse discrimination. And so many of the things that were just beginning to take effect under attempts at affirmative action, they have now reversed everything, talking about we should now be colorblind. We have never been colorblind in this country, and I don't think we ever will.
And so when you say affirmative action, we now have to demand our share. We were denied jobs merely because we were Black, not because we were not qualified. And they're trying to say today that they gave unqualified Blacks access to college, unqualified Blacks access to jobs and opportunities, unqualified Blacks positions in courtrooms as judges. It's not that we were unqualified, it's just that we were Black and we were denied access and opportunity. And so we're now saying we want our share. If I have the grades and the ability, I should be allowed to enter these colleges. We've been denied access and people are suing, but they have legacy. George W. Bush got into college on legacy, not based on, I'm not saying he's an idiot, but I'm just saying he was admitted based on legacy. Who he was, who his parents were, had nothing to do with his ability. But we've been denied that all our lives.
Wow.
History.
I wasn't being disrespectful. This is what came across on my phone.
I understand.
Yeah, we got some. We hear this all the time. What are the benefits of joining PUSH? What is PUSH doing right now to resist, and how can we join in? That was a text that came through.
You know, the interesting thing that Jews never asked, why do I need to be a part of the Jewish Defense League? They never asked, why do I need to support my cultural entity that fights for me? But Black people always, it's like you pay for insurance, but you hope you never have to use it. But right now, PUSH is at least interpreting what is happening and encouraging you to get involved, because it's a generation beyond me and my husband that have to take this mantle and move forward. You and your grandchildren will suffer what is happening in America today and in the world. And you can sit back and ask, well, what is PUSH doing? What the church doing? What are you doing? Sitting at home being a couch potato, analyzing, doing absolutely nothing. Don't know your history. Don't know how you got to where you are right now. There was a time when Black children could not go to a public school. We had to create public schools. We had school in our churches because we were not allowed to go to the white institution. And you're going back to that. if this continues. You're either going to have to create your own schools. That's why we have historic Black colleges, because we couldn't go to the majority schools. We were not allowed to be admitted.
And the idea that they are eliminating the Department of Education, or at least attempting to, is to take us back. They don't want publicly funded education to exist. Everybody will go back to private funding of education, and only the people who can afford the education will be able to be educated.
And if I go to a private school, the private schools don't have the same rules as public schools because they don't have public money, allegedly. And so they can deny you admission. This is what happened at Harvard, Princeton, and Yale. They were funding the slave trade at Harvard, Princeton. But you wouldn't know that because you didn't read the book Black on White, Black or White. You didn't have the opportunity to learn your history in school. So you can ask these questions because you don't know how far you have come. When you say ain't nothing happening, the very fact that right now our young people can make these recordings where they disrespect women, disrespect their mothers, disrespect themselves. We fought to have access to the media, not to denigrate our culture, not to denigrate our people, but to simply lift us up. And that's why we were so proud of a Nat King Cole who could play and sing, because we never, at least in my generation, we didn't grow up thinking it was okay to disrespect our history, our people, and we certainly did not allow anybody to talk about our mama. Not ever. Those were fighting words. Talk about my mama.
Right. Sure, right.
And now these and young men did not talk up under our clothes like this. This is ignorant. And
this is so rich. This is so good. I am so happy to be in the midst of you both. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around when I talk to ages between 18 to 35, this group, 18 at least 35, 36. And just to be in the midst of hearing them say, well, I mean, why should I vote? Why should I even, they're not looking at me, my number is not going to count. And then I hear just a few of them say this, then to imagine that there is not only just a few that I'm in the midst of, but there are thousands to millions of these souls out here who think this way and stay stuck and complacent and don't want to move and feel like, why? And if I put my 2 cents in, will it matter? I mean, I know that we say we all we have to do is just pray. But what else could turn this ship around? What else could shift their mindset? What can what can we do? Our people, Black, brown, beige, what can we do?
Well, I think first thing, and Reverend Dennis and I have talked about this, we have to enter into the media that they are accustomed to. They are in social media every single day. They are trolling reels. We have to give them information in the reels. And parents have to become parents. You cannot allow your children to, I tell young people, never been there, can't tell been there how to get there. Now, what I can tell you is you've never been my age. You've never been through what I've been through. But I can tell you how to get to where you're trying to go. And therefore, there's no country and no culture disrespects their elders as like we do in America. There's something about having lived and fought for a period of time. You need to hear the stories so you understand this is not by accident that you are able to do what you do. There were times we couldn't ride on the front of the bus. They make you get on the bus, pay your money, get off the bus, and go and get in the back door of the bus after you have paid money. That's how ignorant this racism is. And so for you to get on the bus, cuss everybody out on the bus, and then act like that's what you should do, it's crazy. You don't know what we fought to get the bus. Rosa Parks didn't just sit down because she was so tired. She wasn't tired physically. She was tired of the system that told her, I got to pay and get off the bus again, go around to the back and get back on. And then if I could only sit in the back if there were no white people that needed a seat. So I may have to stand. Or if the white people felt claustrophobic, I had to get back off after I had paid my money. That's what the law allowed. And so, but our children don't know the history. They don't know the powerful images and leaders that came from Africa, what we gave to the world, Black people, people of color. But and so when you have somebody saying we can't teach Black history, yes, we can. Our churches used to teach it. I didn't learn everything in school. I learned it in Sunday school, not in public school. I knew who I was when I got to school. I could read when I got there because I had to read to my grandfather who couldn't read.
Can I interject? Listen, you all know this is really
So good.
this is good.
This is
all
so
I don't even
good.
know how to. I need everyone in here to share this to your
Everyone.
live, to your front page of Facebook
Oh my
or your
goodness.
social media platform, because you're getting this for free. This is not a conference. You just tuned in, and she is sharing some things with us. I'm sure my other co-hosts may have some questions,
My God.
but this came from well, first of all, let me just go to one of the comments that Dr. Monique said. Please start parenting your children. What happened to real parents?
Real parents.
Well, I think it's not just the parents. When Rodney and I grew up, we were parented by the community and our parents, because there was a culture that we have to create. Everybody didn't have great parents. I was blessed, but there were some bad parents, but you had grandparents that stepped in. You had the church that stepped in to give you what you needed. So you knew what was positive and negative behavior. You can't have children raising themselves and expect them to do well, to have certain kind of character. And so it is our obligation as a community, the elders and those who have children. They don't know. There's no book on parenting. So you have to be trained. And that's why the Bible is so important, because it gives you a roadmap, if you read it, for behavior, for conduct, and how to challenge systems without becoming criminal in your behavior. People are doing things out of frustration. If I woke up every day as a child and I got to figure where I'm going to sleep tonight, I would probably be very bad in school. I wouldn't want to read nothing, because nobody's dealing with my basic needs: food, clothing, and shelter. And a lot of children are having that issue. And a lot of parents are trying to be their children's age.
And the funding for school lunches is now on the table.
It's off. Some children will not have a meal because they won't have breakfast or lunch anymore. Free breakfast or lunches will be cut.
And the meal that
Do you hear that, Dr.
That is hurtful. That is very hurtful.
It's horrible.
Well, it's not only just
Karita Taylor from Mount Carmel. Okay,
he wants to say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. We have to understand that this is an ongoing issue throughout history. And the first thing that they did is attack the USAID. That was a humanitarian arm of the government. Hundreds and thousands of people on the African continent were being benefited from the aid that they were receiving from the United States government.
And that's just basic food and nutritional and some basic clothing. This is not just throwing money away. And if you listen to the current president, he's just acting like they were just giving money away. All of the money, what is on the continent of Africa that's so important to every world, every country?
All of the minerals, even the minerals that we need for our cell phones and all of the things that all these gadgets that we have, all of that comes from the African continent. What we have to understand is, in essence, we are again being exploited, and we don't recognize it. We don't recognize it over there. And what they did to the USAID became a model for what they want to do for everything in the United States. And we could keep repeating history. But if we don't teach ourselves history, because they're not going to teach history to us, not our history. Our history is the history of the United States. If we really learn our own history, we will have positive role models for our children that we can see throughout history, and we will have the type of leadership amongst ourselves that we can advance the issues that are important to not only us, but to the entire population of the United States.
And one of the things that guys said, what is Push doing? One, Push Excel is teaching STEM. Most of our children never learn science, technology, engineering, and math in school. You got teachers that have never taken science, didn't major in, say, I don't like science. Our children must learn STEM. You can't build a car right now if you don't understand robotics, because every auto manufacturer uses robots. Somebody has to program, somebody's got to fix them, because they have replaced people. And so we're exposing our children on the HBCU tour so they can see their history. They travel across the country and learn that Carter G. Woodson, the Tuskegee Institute, you got Booker T. Washington helped to found Hampton Institute, that's now Hampton University. When you learn the history of these colleges, you got to feel some kind of way. I took a young man to Shaw University, and it was so quiet. He said, they don't have any violence down here? Because he said he didn't hear any police cars. We have to expose our young people to what they can be and not keep showing them what they are. And so that's what one thing that Push does. They give people, they got to see what they can become. Because if I wake up in my community and all I see is violence, drugs, I don't see any hope for myself. So I'm going to do what I can to survive. But if I can just get away for a week, 8 days, 7 nights, and see something else, I will maybe want to be something other than what I have been shown in the media and in my community. You got little girls talking about what you want to be. I want to be a prostitute. Why? That's not a goal she should have. And every little boy want to be a rapper. How many rappers do you think you can be? I'm going to be a basketball player. There ain't that many teams. And you're not, and you're 5 feet 4. You're not going to be a basketball player. They got 7 feet people coming from abroad coming here. And so we have to show them more than that.
Wow.
We have to.
I want to go back to a comment, and I have to believe that it's probably because you're on here, and we have had a lot of great shows in this last 7-8 years. But Deacon Myron Brandt said this is one of your best shows, Brother Ramon Perry, and we have to thank you for that, being on here, sharing this. We've had great guests all along, but sometimes there's some things that resonate with certain people in certain situations, and where we are as a people in this country in this hour.
Right.
And I want to thank you
right now
in advance. It's a right now.
A right now show.
It's a right now.
Thank
show.
you.
Now.
Thank you.
We're living in the now.
Yes, we are.
My pastor, Elder DeAndre Patterson, you just said something that resonates with something. He said, "Don't believe what you see. See what you believe." And that's what we have to do with our young people. They're seeing something, and that's not who they are. And we've got to show them something else. I want to give you this question. This came out of Mount Carmel Baptist Church. Corita Taylor, she said, what is Reverend Jackson advising and saying about where we are as a country, as a people? What should be our next steps?
Well, Reverend Jackson is suggested that, one, we have to follow he calls them the 6 principles of nonviolence. You first have to research the moment. And, people are saying we should boycott this, boycott that. Well, before we ever called a boycott, we did research on the companies. What is our spend with them? How much money do Black people spend with Target? How much money do Black people spend with Walmart? And then you begin to educate the community. about the companies that you are thinking that, well, they say they've eliminated DEI. Well, what are they doing? What investments are they making in our community? How many of us work for them? How many of us are in the C-suites? That's where the power decisions are made. How many of us build the stores that they have? How many of us are lawyers for them? How many of us, you just keep going down the line so you understand how do they invest in us, if at all. And if they don't, then why are we shopping with them? How many Black products are on their store shelves versus what other products? And so you have to do research, then you educate the community, and then you can't boycott everybody because you have to have access to some information. I found out, for example, there are a lot of Black products in Target. We don't even know what the Black products in Target are. So if we boycott them, then how does that impact those Black manufacturers who have a slim margin as it is? So that's why you have to do research, you educate, and then you communicate with the companies. See, can you convince them to change their behavior? And if not, then you say, well, we're going to have to do some direct action. That may be a boycott. It may be a informational leafleting around the store in 50 major markets. And if they don't change then, or they say, let's come to the table, then you reconcile if you can. But it's a strategy. Dr. King and the Montgomery bus boycott lasted 1 solid year. They did not ride the city bus. 1 year. Now, they couldn't just do that overnight. They planned that. And you had to get women who had to work in these homes. They had to have an alternative to get them to the homes. So they had like a jitney service. Black people carpooled and that kind of thing. So you had to have plans because it's a sacrifice. But if the seniors can't go to the store that's closest to them, then you got to figure out how you're going to deliver the food to them.
Right.
You understand? So that's why everybody wants to do a knee-jerk reaction. You got to have a strategy and communicate it so it's not just in your head sitting up there talking to the television. It's got to be an organized strategy. And that push convenes people to talk about a strategy. Reverend Jackson obviously is not as active as he once was. His brain is fully functioning, however. And so he knows what he's done and what worked and why it worked. And so he is coaching and convening people. And those of you who ask what is push doing, how about you stop by? Every Saturday, 52 Saturdays a year, we're open. On live on WJYS Word Network, Facebook Live, YouTube, telling you what we're doing, what we're trying to do. And if we had more people, we could do more things.
I want to touch on two things, unless my hosts have any other questions. It's just two things before we let you go. You've really been a blessing.
My goodness.
First, you mentioned DEI. Can you expound on what that is and what that isn't anymore?
Well, again, we're talking about equity and inclusion, but we have to understand we are only trying to get our fair share of what we're entitled to. So don't get hung up on the buzzwords. Look beyond the facts. What we have right now is a government, a White House that is engaged in the biggest bait and switch in the history of this country. They say they're looking for fraud. Well, the biggest fraud and waste in the government is in the Pentagon. They just said they're going to increase the Pentagon's budget by $150 billion, but they want to get $57 from each American that they claim was not rightfully entitled to because of the bait and switch. They have you looking at one thing while they're robbing you. Elon Musk is now being given access to the U.S. Treasury. Everybody that receives a check from the government, income tax check or whatever from the federal government, all of your financial information is being given to his team of hackers. And once he has all that personal information, he's already indicated he's going to start a new relationship with Visa. And pretty soon you will have to go through some company that Elon Musk has put together to transact your business. It's a bait and switch. They have you looking at one thing while they're doing something different.
And the other thing you should know, there's we're going to be reading this book. We have some clergy in particular preaching in the shadow of Hitler. These moves are very Hitler-like. When you want to take over a country and go from a democracy to a dictatorship, you take control of the images, the media. And so if you look at, they have their own social media outlet, because remember, the president was put off of certain media, social media outlets. They discredit any organized media, and they're trying to close down. They tell you, oh, we're going to get rid of MSNBC. We're going to get rid of all of this. Because the idea is to control information. And that's what Hitler did. You take control of the military, because that is, you have the Proud Boys become like an army-like force, and they're loyal to their general. The Nazis were loyal to Hitler. They were not loyal to protecting the German citizens. And so you either follow me or you're out. And so you take control of the media, you take control of the military, and you take control of education. What are you teaching children? They had special curriculum. This is in Nazi Germany for the children to learn. So you tell them, oh, you don't need to learn your history. This is the history as I give it to you. That's the danger in this bait and switch. And then you put people in a desperate situation. When you cut off benefits for poor people, and it's more poor white people than poor black people in America. When you start cutting education, cutting U.S. aid, it's not just foreign aid, it's also cutting where people are living on the margins already. And so this is a very sinister thing that we've not had that in our lifetime.
And the other thing that's being done, they are eliminating all of the entities which formerly would be in opposition to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Trump announced today that he is going to head up the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. He wants to take over the cultural aspect, because it's the culture, the arts and entertainment that has traditionally been in the forefront of exposing and showing the excesses of the culture. And what he is trying to do is change that. He has never been to a performance at the Kennedy Center. He doesn't know anything about the Kennedy Center, but he wants to be in control of it. He just took over the board of directors and fired half of the board so that he could be named the chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center. Now, again, what we're looking at is a bait and switch. While we're looking at other things, all of these other entities are being attacked under the guise of efficiency. Whenever they start talking about efficiency, the first thing that they do is attack people who are the most efficient. They are eliminating federal employees in the name of efficiency, but they don't replace anybody with more efficient people. They want to eliminate the entity so that they can be in control. The first thing that they did is eliminate all the watchdogs. The inspector generals for every department of the federal government, they tried to eliminate them in one fell swoop, without notice, without anything, against the law, illegal, but they're doing it, and we're not protesting. And we have to stand up and say that we're not going to accept these violations of the law.
And the way to do that is So there's a legal strategy and there's a legislative strategy. He is not automatically given 4 years. You have 2 years where you can take control of the House and the Senate, regain control, and you can stop a lot of this.
And that's why you have to vote.
That's why
you have to
Listen, you have really, both of you have really been phenomenal. I keep getting in the comments, we have to do a part 2. We have to do something again. We can sing and shout and speak in tongue and run down the aisle, but there's other work that have to be done.
My goodness, faith
Amen.
works.
We've got to be busy people. We are literally a hair away from where we were before the civil rights movement. And many people don't realize it. They're still doing this and that, and they don't know that things are being snatched away from them. And when they look in the mailbox and that check and that snap is cut,
there
and
you
all
go.
the fundings and all of that, then they're going to wonder what happened. So we want to be a beacon of light here, WVTC.
Yes.
And Ramon Perry Live. We want to keep our people educated. We want to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. We want to share good music, but we want our people to be aware of what is going on. Dr. Wilson, Dr. Howard, I want to thank both of you all. You all have really been a blessing. That's all I can say. The comments are just going on and on and on. We can't put them all on the screen. I try to get as much as I can, but First Lady Creola Jones of Mount Carmel said there must be a part 2.
Well, thank you so much for that.
We're gonna see what we can do. Dennis Perry said she's coming to WVTC next month. Listen, he let the cat out the bag, but we might have to get you back on this show again
for part 2
before you come and do what you're going to do. But we do thank both of you.
Yes.
Here, my entire staff. We're just really grateful of everything that you shared tonight. Will you come back and share with us again, please?
As soon as you invite us, we'd love to come back.
Amen.
Wait. Say that one more time.
Thank you for everything that you allowed us to be on, and we'd love to come back.
Okay, say that one more time.
We love to come back.
Okay, that's what she said. She said as soon as you invite me, check your inbox because we gonna have
we're coming back
sooner than later.
And we'll even come to the studio because we're trying to get in the StreamYard. It's been difficult for us.
Now, can I pull on you just a little bit more before we leave? I would ask if you would pray us off of our life tonight. Would you do that for us tonight, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we bow our heads? Our Father and our God, we thank you for this program. We thank you for this host and this whole team and all that they've meant to just encourage, to inspire, but also to inform you. We thank you for the opportunity. And God, we ask that you bless Ramon in a very special way and his entire team, that they might continue to not become weary in well-doing and to continue to expose their listening and viewing audience with as much information, as much education, and as much inspiration that they will know that it's time to take to the streets and to fight for what is right and to do righteousness, love, mercy, and walk humbly before you. We ask these things knowing you're a God that can do anything. Strengthen us, encourage us, and keep us in the midst of it all. We thank you for being our God and allowing us to be your people. And thank you for keeping this team in the hollow of your hand. Let every heart say,
Amen.
Amen.
God bless you. We'll be back with you next week. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And remember, you can live and you can have what you need. It's all according to your faith.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ. WVTC Allsip Chicago. An iNetworks communication station.